G'day guys and welcome back to the channel. Back into it for season 2026 and we're going to start off with having a look at the Cats. Best 23 for season 2026. I'll have my spin on it and I want to shout out Zero Hanger for making this possible in the first place. Alright, so clearly, I guess, some house rules for this one. Clearly taking into some consideration with the 2025 form. And I want to take a holistic approach of, how players are going over their career. And this is taking into consideration players at their sort of best, peak fitness and peak health. So keep that in mind for players that I've picked here. I'm semi-aware of the injury list, but look, if I've picked someone and they've accidentally done an ACL without me being aware, throw it in the comments because it'll be a lot of fun. So let's get stuck into it. I'll start off. I've absolutely maximized the crap out of this screen to keep it a little bit of a secret, not show my cards too heavily. But yeah, cool. Let's get stuck into it and we'll sort of run through each player and have a bit of a cast towards the 2026 home and away season. And as usual, we start in the back line, and apologies, it's taken over Zach Guthrie's head, but we start off with Zach Guthrie in the back pocket, and now I can't get rid of that, so let's try. Yep, all right, cool, we're good. Zach Guthrie starting us off in the back line, been absolutely superb, kind of Tom Stewart's prototype there, ever reliable down back, locking down those small forwards, doing a really good job, and has definitely, shone in the last few seasons, ever so reliable down back. Jack Henry doesn't get enough kudos or enough praise in sort of outside Geelong circles. The All-Australian, hopefully the All-Australian panel will pick him up one day because, how scores against is just massively, massively better when he's in the side. And you just know he's going to get the job done. Got an interesting one here, bit of a forgotten player, Jake Kolodjasny. I've had my thoughts on him at times, and he's definitely had some rougher moments in some big games. But look, he shone massively in that 2022 final series, and he was quite excellent in the 2024 season. And he can play on the talls and smalls, and he's really great at locking down that sort of either key post, key pillar, but he can also make sure that the smaller mid-sized prototypes don't get off the chain too badly. So here's an interesting pick. But the body of work that he's got, the experience he's got, if his body can get right, I think he'll be a perfect addition back into the Cats backline and a bit of extra stability from the height perspective, which sometimes got us unstuck last year with a bit of little bit of inexperience trying to get that one out. We go to the half back line. We got Tom Stewart, who again, he had some injury woes throughout season 2025, but still finished off the season really well. We know what he does, and he's been really good with the ball in hand, especially as the year went on. Really sad that he missed out in the grand final, and we missed him sorely down back. Sam de Koning locking down that centre half back spot. I've got Jack Henry closer to goal because I don't trust de Koning as close to goal. Look, he's getting better, but Ken sort of had those moments of concentration lapses, and which can be quite costly, where he's just a few meters off, or he's just not fully in the zone or locked in, as we like to say. But he definitely got back to some more of his 2022 form throughout the season 2025 as it progressed. So that was good to see. More of that would be good in season 2026. Lawson Humphries, gee whiz, he was fresh on the weekend. Playing for WA. He was running rampant off half back and may not have had the best 2025 considering his 2024 form, and maybe teams might go to work a bit more on the kind of output that he likes to sort of get out on the ground. But again, I think he'll be super important, that bounce off half back. I've picked these two guys just with their pure ability to win one-on-ones, but also be able to rebound. And Laws's kicking is absolutely sensational. One of the best kicks in the team, if not the AFL, really. He hardly misses a target. So I'll pick Lawson there, starting half back. And if I go on the wing, I've got Max Holmes. I was considering putting Max Holmes at halfback, but I simply couldn't fit him there just with the likes of these guys. I mean, Stewart and Humphreys both very aggressive off halfback, which is definitely going to be needed for competing well in 2026. So I've got Max Holmes on the wing. I know he's played in the guts a fair bit, but I've found that his clearance numbers tend to not reflect sort of those elite midfielders. And clearly we don't want him to be getting the ball first. We want other midfielders to get involved with that, which I'll get stuck into soon. Other midfielders like Tom Atkins as an example. But yeah, we want to release him charging towards goal. But yeah, look, he tried his guts out in the grand final. It didn't quite work out just with the way he used the ball. Look, and I'm sure the coaching directive was to get as much territory as possible. And look, sometimes players can be too well coached. But yeah, Holmesy turning into an absolute top line player and midfielder. Hoping for another massive season from him. Tommy Atkins in that midfield spot. He's just absolute ball magnet. He's a bull. He's a tackle king. And we really like what he brings to the Cats, that defensive-minded midfield, and can also pop up and kick a goal every now and again. Really good at that kick inside 50 as well. I've noticed over the course of the 2025 season, he was really prominent on that front. Ollie Dempsey, what a season he had. Rising star in 2024, and he went further and further in 2025, over 30 goals. And yeah, starting off that wing position, ending up sort of deep in the forward line, but also helping out down back. So yeah, he's an absolute machine, athlete with what he does there. His output has been phenomenal, and I think he'll still catch some teams off guard. Sometimes, he got a little bit quieter for teams that paid additional close attention, but again, you can't curtail all the Cats. At least I like to think that. In the ruck, I've got Mark Blitzarves in the ruck as the number one ruck, and why I have him there is largely off the back of the final series, and more specifically the qualifying final and the preliminary final. He can sort of go anywhere, but I think there's enough coverage down back. There's enough coverage, plenty of coverage up forward. Hopefully Jez is all right. No, he's a little bit sore, a bit worse for wear. But yeah, Blitz, when he plays in the ruck, he's like an extra midfielder. I think it's loses its effect a little bit if he is an inside mid, because when we struggle in the ruck, it makes sense that he's able to sort of do his work inside the contest there. If this can just not happen, that'd be great. And yeah, look, we played probably two of our best games of footy for 2025 in that qualifying final against Brisbane and the preliminary against Hawthorn. With Blitz there, I can't really put it down as a coincidence, but yeah, we just looked better with him there, and he was enormous around the contest as well. I've got Patrick Dangerfield in as a midfielder here. Now, there's a few caveats to this one, because clearly he's not going to be playing 80+% game time, and I suspect he's not, and he won't always be midfield. But I still have to categorically say, if you're goal down and you need someone to retrieve the ball, there's just no one more in the game that's hungry to get that ball than him. And that's why I've got Paddy as an inside mid here. And look, the caveat is he'll probably be off the bench a bit more in this season, especially as it goes on, and try and make sure that he's all good if the Cats are to make finals in 2026. But yeah, there's just no one that's more ferocious than he is. And for that reason, I've got him there. He's an absolute machine. And when he's bursting through the mid, it's a pretty good sight to see. So I've got Paddy there. Whilst he's 35, I think he's turning 36 possibly. But yeah, he's he hasn't lost that speed, and still look good at times in the Vic jumper. I've got Bailey Smith in as the other, we'll call him ruck rover. I'm going to say Patrick's a ruck rover, traditional ruck rover. Rover there for Baz. So again, I don't particularly love his centre clearance work, and look, that's not having a crack at him. I think he's been an outstanding addition for the Cats, and almost won a Brownlow, and he can definitely win the ball in a big way. So again, I think kind of like Holmes, you want him on the outside more than grabbing the ball. So you can hope that Atkins and a few of these other midfielders, which I will allude to very shortly, can sort of have a go. But yeah, look, hopefully he can lower the eyes a little bit more. Hopefully he can make sure that his kicks add to the advantage and rather than just blasting all the time. Like, it's great he gets territory for us. Hopefully he can tidy up some disposal as well. So that's the midfield. It looks pretty good when it's healthy and fit. Whoops, I've gone a bit farther. I was meant to go 3, but that's okay. It's probably almost my most favourite line here of players. I've got to stop scrolling over this. We've got Sean Manor starting us off at the half-forward flank. He's a ripping bloke to start off with. And, yeah, he's just very crafty around goal. He works so hard up and down the ground as well. And, he's just very clean, like, seeing him in the Brisbane final, the first final, not the last one, where he was just able to pinpoint a couple of targets inside 50 when you just needed someone to be cool and composed. He was that. That goal against Hawthorn to get us 28 points up was absolutely unreal, being there at the ground when he kicked it. And he's just so full of energy and enthusiasm. So, he might play a bit more midfield. Hopefully, he can finish really well around the goal. So if he can stay more forward pocket, that'd be great. I've got Jeremy Cameron at centre half forward. More so, he's got that roaming license and probably suits him better going up the ground, coming back towards goal rather than leading out straight from the goal square, if you like, as a traditional full forward. And look, I still expect he'll have a lot of time deep forward as well. But I see his capability and athleticism more beneficial for the team at centre half forward. But I mean, it's more of a positional thing, really. Him and Neil will likely just swap and change whatever sort of needed. But you don't really have your traditional centre half forward like you did with Brown and Bradshaw, Lucas, Lloyd, as much these days in terms of positions, so to speak. But I've got to put someone at centre half forward, and it's him. He's a good man to have it. Speaking of which, Graham Myers, what a player he's become. Pretty good in 2022, but then stepped it up massively in 2023, and his output's been really promising and prominent. We know how good he is as a kick inside 50 to hit up teammates, and also deadly in front of goals. He kicked some crazy goals over the last couple of years. Even that one in round 1 against Freo that fell in. And I think even one late 2024 against Freo. He has a knack over there actually, so he has a happy knack of kicking a freaky goal against the Dockers now that I'm reflecting back on it. But really good numbers from him, pressure-wise, and lifting his game to new heights, and hopefully we can see more of that in 2026. All right, full forward line. So we've got Tyson Stengel, most likely going to miss opening round, and hopefully he's doing well. Again, don't know the full story. I'm not here to talk about Tyson Stengel's off-field woes, but look, we hope he's well, and had an interesting 2025. He had some really good moments where he kicks 4 goals straight against Gold Coast, but then there was other times where he was a little bit more wayward in front of goal, which was unfortunate. But him at his best, he's kicking snags and setting teammates up and applying that pressure, which we saw glimpses of. Hopefully we see more of it. That All-Australian year in 2022 was something else, over 50 goals. But not quite the same output. But again, give him some time, he'll be right. Shannon Neal, scratcher, had fine season last year and slowly building up into a really fine player. He's still got some development to do and clunking some more marks. And I guess when a defender's got his number to be able to resurrect it, I guess. Maybe it's a bit harsh expecting him to be able to absolutely rinse Harris Andrews, but also, I think he can learn a lot. What he has done so far has been really promising and being able to kick a few bags here and there, which is great. But love his routine. His routine and kicking on goal is absolutely sublime. So can't fault him there from a goal kicking routine perspective. And really good presence. So he'll get better. The big talls take a long time to develop. unless you're Logan Morris and somehow just kick 50 goals in your second season, but whatever. This isn't a Brisbane best 23, but yeah, love it. So yeah, is for a big 2026 for scratch up. Bradley Close, one of my favourites as well. He's probably more of a half forward really than a forward pocket, so to speak. Again, they're just positions, and these four guys would regularly rotate between the four of them. So, but yeah, we know his pressure, and he does a lot of stuff off the ball to try and stifle, run out of half back, and I'm looking with these four and just going, do not let Lockie Whitfield and Lockie Ash be the reason we lose again to the Giants. I'm sick of losing to them, but look, he had some good returns throughout the season with some goals on the board. Missed a few again, but look, for the work rate and the stuff that he does off the ball, all the pressure that he does, and not to mention all the running from full length of the ground basically to support and defense as well. That's stuff you don't get stats for, but it doesn't go missed. The interchange is very, very entertaining. Interesting. We've got Jack Bowes to start us off. He was probably one of the shining lights for the Cats in the grand final, and just a very crafty operator that very cool in a crisis. Really enjoyed his final series. Just had some really clutch moments of brilliance and composure. Composure is something that he had and I saw a lot of. He was sub a few times as well. So but really like what Jack Bowes has to offer. And he can he just pops up and kicks a goal. Like when you need one, you can pop in 1 or 2 goals a game if he likes. He can float from half back. He's very he's kind of like Mr. Fix-It, Inspector Gadget. So no, he's good. He's good value, Jack Bowes. Enjoy watching him play. I've got Reece Stanley here, and look, I can definitely hear the noise of people going, "Oh, he should never play ever again" after what happened in the grand final. And if you recall from the start of this, it was all about focusing on players at full health, full strength. Which, look, Reece probably wasn't full strength, coming off hamstring injury, straight into a grand final after probably not playing for 4 or 5 weeks, maybe, straight into the thick of things. He's not Lockie Neal. But yeah, look, I think it can't all be Blitzarves. He does need a chop out, and I don't want De Koning to be rucking. So the next logical option there comes to Reece Stanley, and with 5 on the bench, with the best 23, I think he just fits in. But I want to put the caveat that I want Mitch Edwards to finally take that step, not be injured, be healthy. And I want Toby Conway to be on the park and healthy. So whilst I want those two in the team, they are not better players they're not better than Reece Stanley from the exposed form. But we don't want we don't want to have to be relying on Reece Stanley is what I'm trying to say. Has been an absolute great servant for the Cats, premiership player, premiership ruckman, stalwart, and he was really good in 2025. Unfortunately, a body let him down late, and unfortunately, he didn't perform too well in the grand final, but he wasn't alone. Last 3. We've got James Warple. Welcome to the Cats, James. Going to be good to see him pull on the hoops, and I just see him in that sort of that similar Tom Atkins sort of style, probably between like a Tom Atkins and Bailey Smith, where he's just absolutely yeeting the ball out of the pack, and then setting up players like Baz and Max Holmes and these guys running through the mid, even Ollie Dempsey, whoever wants to run by Tommy Stewart, Lawce, whoever wants it. So I see him being a really good addition to the midfield. I don't think it solves all of their midfield problems by any stretch of the imagination, but I think he'll be a really handy addition to the team, assuming he's fit and well. So looking forward to seeing what he's done. I've looked at some of his highlights from Hawthorn, and look, there's some pretty good ones, some pretty good goals he's kicked over his career as well. If he has his disposal cherry ripe, which should hopefully improve as he goes on, then it'll be really positive for the Cats. I've got Connor O'Sullivan on the bench there, and he can rotate with whoever he likes out of the back line, De Koning, whoever. But yeah, it might surprise some to not have him on the field, but if I go on Jake Kolodjasny's body of work and a fully fit and healthy Jake Kolodjasny versus O'Sullivan, O'Sullivan got found wanting at times last year, and like that's not to discard the amazing second and third efforts and the energy and endeavour he's got. Just purely off the body of work from Jake Kolodjasny, have I put him ahead of Connor O'Sullivan? And look, he's going to be a 10, 15-year superstar for the Cats. And he'll take time to develop. The tools can take a little bit of time to develop. But from what we've seen so far, really positive. Did have some moments where he slipped over at crucial times. But again, look, that's just going to happen. And you can't expect it to just click day one and just be beating the best forwards in the game. So he'll grow into a great player. And he's already a really good player. Mark O'Connor, the Shark. He was fantastic in that back pocket role in 2025. He's kind of, and sort of tagging as well. He was very, very handy on that front. Real solid contributor. Really good overhead mark. Mark's a good mark. We like what he does, and he's got a bit of mongrel about him, and had some interesting battles with Cam Rayner over the course of the last year or so. Very interesting battles indeed. So ever so reliable. He can play multiple positions. So I've snuck him in on the bench. All right. Now the asterisks. So we've got a few notable outs. I don't think I'll be able to go through all of them, but let's go. Let's start with O'Shane Mullen. A little bit stiff not to be in there. Great tagger for us. I just couldn't quite fit him over. When I looked at these 5 players and the whole field, I'm like, well, look, potentially he fits in, but he might have fit in because we didn't have too many injuries. He was a bit stiff, I'll have to say. I want to fit Ollie Henry into the team, but again, just have to go with their teammates that have been able to sort of deliver a little bit more consistently, and Ollie Henry can be one-trick ponies sometimes. He's a good mark kick player, but doesn't get much of the ball, doesn't chase much. So on the defensive side of his game, and that's not his strength. That's okay, but he does need to be better on that front. And he was just a bit gun shy in 2025 with Big Patrick up void. There's got to be some other players that I've definitely omitted here, and I won't be able to acknowledge all of them. So look, do apologise for anyone that's missed out. But look, this is best 23, and there's going to be injuries, and the coaches will definitely figure out the best lineup. I can't really think of any other names off the top of my head. So look, if there's any harm I've caused. Apologies there to any affected players. But we'll go through a bit of a recap of the team. So we've got Zach Guthrie, Jack Henry, Jay Kolodjasny. We've got Tommy Stewart, Sam De Koning, Lawson Humphries to round out the back line. And we go into the midfield and we've got Maxi Holmes, Tom Atkins, Ollie Dempsey, and in the ruck we've got Blitz, Paddy to follow with Baz. And if we look at the half forward line, we've got Sean Manor, Jeremy Cameron, Grant Mars. Finishing off the forward line, we've got Tyson Stengel, Shannon Neal, the scratcher, Bradley Close, the closer, as I like to call him, Jackie Bowes, Reece Stanley, James Warple, Connor O'Sullivan, Mark O'Connor. So it's a pretty good looking side. No doubt there'll be injuries, and that will happen. But that has been, a bit of a wrap on who I've picked for my best 23. So there you go. That's all from me. Guys, it's good to be back and very interested to see who your best 23 looks like. You're welcome to comment that in the comments below. Or if there's a player that you went, how the hell did you miss him? Or well done, good job. I'll take both. I'll take feedback. It's it's good to see, different thoughts and feelings and opinions about, other players that, might be knocking the door down. But I've gone best 23, just best 23. All right, well, that's all from me, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, like it, subscribe away so you can keep up to date with the videos throughout the season. Cats reviews, AFL tipping, all sorts of good stuff is coming down the pipeline. So stay tuned for that. As my voice goes, it's time for me to wrap up. Thanks heaps for sticking around, guys. Really appreciate it. And I'll catch you on the next video.